bachelor's in environmental studies because I had this romantic, idealistic notion that I was going to save the planet. I knew all the answers. And then I got to school and I realized I didn't even know what the questions were. It was all so much more complicated than I could have even imagined. Humans are the most invasive organism on this planet. We have decimated entire species, entire ecosystems. It was like every day I was learning of some new environmental catastrophe somewhere, and it was overwhelming and entirely depressing. With time, I began to realize that no matter what we do, the planet is going to be just fine. This orb floating in space, it doesn't need us. We need it. We've come so far in our technological advances, it's miraculous, don't get me wrong. But in doing so, we've forgotten how very limited we are by our biological need for clean food, clean air, and clean water. We've detached ourselves from our very sustenance and our role in nurturing it. It was on this quest for purpose that I discovered permaculture, or the conscious design of landscapes based on natural patterns and relationships found in nature. But it wasn't until a trip to Haiti that I really grasped the meaning of permaculture. I was in the Bukhara, or the wasteland. It only took me 2 days to give up on my contacts and my glasses because there was just way too much dust getting picked up off the bedrock. I was listening to a member of the permaculture course enthusiastically describe the way the water pooled in a little keyhole dugout every time we took a shower or washed our hands. Inside the dugout, decomposing leaves turned to soil and nourished the tomato plants winding their way up the shower walls. Nothing is wasted. It was in that moment I realized that waste is food, and food is life. It's universal. Food is the key to our psychological, our physiological, and our communal health. And our health is inseparable from the health of this planet. With food, we have the ability to transform our communities. Now I want you guys to use your imagination and come on a walk with me. You know, it's the middle of summer, middle of July, it's really hot and muggy. You just gotta get out of the house. It's like an oven in here. So we head to the park, and we're rounding a corner and we come across the most beautiful, lush, dense, ripest blanket of strawberries you've ever seen. Go ahead, pick a few. Savor in that sweet, tangy nectar for a moment. Maybe on the way home we'll swing by that pocket park, grab ourselves some fiery red tomatoes for dinner. Wouldn't that be nice? Cities all over the world are waking up to the potential of urban agriculture. Places like Seattle have installed entire parks that are edible. You can just go and pick whatever you want. If there's nothing left at the end of the season, that means that they did something right. Places like Boston have redone all of their zoning regulations to encourage commercial agriculture within the city limits. Think about it for a second. If we can teach people, we can teach our children where food comes from and how to grow food. We're teaching people how to provide for themselves and their neighbors. Maybe somebody will get really, really good at it. They'll decide to start a business. Now, it doesn't even necessarily have to be edible. It could be something like cut flowers. And with that business, there's also the other businesses that come along with it. You know, you've got the tools, you've got the seeds. On the other side, you have the marketing, the distribution. It's kind of like cooking Thanksgiving dinner. You know, you're chopping things over here and you've got all 4 burners going and you're taking things in and out of the oven and it's kind of hectic and crazy and there's a whole lot going on, but each piece of it, every component has a function. It's a part of the larger meal. Permaculture teaches us that everything is connected. When I was younger, I was taught the narrative of food as the enemy. I thought it was something that we needed to control and to conquer. I think that that's the way we tend to look at natural systems, as something to speed up or to slow down, to channelize to suit our immediate needs. But permaculture? Permaculture is all about observation and adaptation. It's looking at the larger picture, goes through the system, sailing with the wind rather than fighting against it. We have to inhale before we can exhale. Now, I could tell you some scary statistics about Syracuse and explain to you the myriad of factors that weigh into our collective quality of life. I made one heck of a flowchart while I was preparing for this. But I would much rather focus on what could be. Imagine all the vacant lots in Syracuse as urban farms, community gardens, farm-to-school projects. Imagine a cutting-edge deconstruction and construction workforce educating and hiring our residents in sustainable construction and whole systems design. Wouldn't that be nice to deal with all those vacant buildings? Imagine well-fed families with livable jobs who take pride in their neighborhoods because they helped build them. That is what permaculture teaches us. And the time has come to sow a new beginning. But we have to do better this time. We will not have another Onondaga Lake at the vicious hands of the bottom line. The time has come to raise the bar. Hippocrates once said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." Food is the one consumer good that will never become obsolete. I envision a Syracuse brimming with local restaurants, small-scale processing, microbreweries, and tilapia farms. A Syracuse built with the craftsmanship that comes from valuing labor. In the future, it all starts here, right now. Permaculture teaches us to redefine challenges as solutions. And a good example of that can be seen with water. The Great Lakes region contains 80% of the fresh water in the country. 80%. 20% in the world. Water used to be a huge problem right here in Syracuse. When we had big rain events, it would overtax our sewer system and dump raw, untreated sewage directly into our lakes and into our creeks. So what did we do about it? We redefined our challenge as a solution. We decided that we'd rather build rain gardens and porous pavement, green roofs. We wanted to replenish our aquifers. And now, we even use rainwater for the ice our hockey team skates on. Isn't that cool? As the climate changes and drought cracks open our breadbaskets, the ocean acidifies, and we lose our fisheries and our coral reefs, our entire way of life will need to change. Don't you want to be ready for it? We can be a city of innovators, of problem solvers. I may not have all the answers, but it's meant to be that way. It's going to take all of us. That's the point, to create a niche. So my challenge for all of you after this talk is the next time you're walking outside, or better yet, the next time you're about to throw something away, I want you to think, what if there was no such thing as waste? What if all of waste was food, and we closed the circle? How might our world look differently? Each day, in every decision that we make, we shape the world that we live in, the world our children, our grandchildren are going to live in. Don't you want to say you are part of the solution? And you know what? Starting is easy. All you have to do is plant something, anything at all, and watch it grow. Thank you.